I think, I mean, when it comes down to it, you know, it was a massive limiting belief in your life, right? I mean, that money monster was that scary limiting belief that was holding you back. And again, whether it be money or your health or your body or your friendships or relationships or business, whatever it is, we all have these limiting beliefs that need to be, at some point in time, they need to be dealt with. And I do believe that. And just to kind of rewind a little bit, you know, I do believe in working hard and focused and getting after it and doing all the things. But if you have all these limiting beliefs that are holding you back, and you don't deal with these limiting beliefs, you'll never make the progress that you probably should have made having all of that information. What I you know, am really frustrated though, I mean, as far as so many people, especially that I have been coaching and teaching through the years, I just get frustrated that they think that that degree or that college education is going to make, it's just going to just all of a sudden make them successful, you know, and that's, and it really is sad because, you know, they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars for this piece of paper, right? Yeah, and they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars for this paper, when what they could have done is they could have found somebody like you to say, look, I need you to pull out of me, you know, these limiting beliefs that I have in my life that are holding me back. And then what I need to do is I need to find a business that aligns with my values, that aligns with my passion, that aligns with, you know, what makes me excited, right, to get up in the morning. And then I need to go for it with everything inside of me. And I think that's, and look, I think we underestimate in this world, I think we underestimate hard work. We underestimate accountability. You know, you were accountable to that coach. And therefore, because you were accountable to that coach, he pulled something out of you that changed your life. And I think people need to remember that, you know, and so, I mean, when you think about like leadership, obviously you've led a lot of retreats and you lead a lot of people. When you think about leadership, what does that mean to you? You know, what if you were to define a great leader, who comes to your mind?
Well, first, my definition of leadership would be partnership, inspirer. The best that we can ever do as leaders is inspire, serve, give permission for people to be their real selves, not impose our agenda on them. You know, there are so many, somebody talks about leading by, I'm thinking, who do I want to choose right now? So I'm like going in spirals because there are just so many people who have been leaders in my life and publicly that you would know. I mean,
I like that you said partnership. I like that you said inspire. I mean, I teach people all the time. I mean, you got to be an inspirational leader. I believe leadership is inspiration. And, you know, and so, yeah, go ahead. You thought of somebody?
I also think that there's a huge thing of leadership by example. So, for example, probably the biggest leader in my life was my grandmother. And before her, my great-grandmother packed up the family from Russia and they hitchhiked and walked and got rides to Shanghai during a revolution, which is kind of mind-blowing. But my grandmother was a dancer and an artist. She was Alvin Ailey's first ballet teacher. And they danced in a wildly controversial ballet back in the, I think, the 40s. And this mug is grandma's art, if you can see the little dancing figures everywhere. And before she died, you know, she just had such a zest for life. And I remember before she died, one of one of the people that she had drawn into her life came, and she was, on her deathbed, and was reading to her from the Tibetan Book of the Dead. And he's reciting it at her memorial. And I'm like, so inspired. Oh my God, this is so brilliant. And then he said, and then Grandma Connie said, bullshit, that's bullshit. Life is about having experiences, have lots and lots of experiences. And that kind of just grabbing everything. There's this disease in personal development right now of high vibes only. And that's not life. Yeah, we want to get into that good feeling and that alignment. We love those good feelings, and we have everything. So you were talking about your hard experiences, that's what humanizes us. That's what gives us the talent to be able to face other human beings and respect their experience and their power to survive and overcome things, that they're still alive right now. And otherwise we would just be kind of like happy monsters with no capacity to respect the pain of others.
Yeah, I mean, I look at my leaders in my life that had transformed me early on, and I was always inspired to know that they went through a lot of shit, that they got beat up, that they went through hard challenges, that they didn't know if they were going to make it or not. It was kind of a mystery if they were going to actually, almost like a great movie that you would watch, and you see them struggle in the beginning, and then they succeed, and then they fall flat on their face, and then they pick themselves back up, and then they go win, and they radically change their life. And so I think that I was always inspired by people that were willing to do what other people are not willing to go do. Sometimes just even us, right? We're out here exposing ourselves. We're exposing our thoughts and thinking, and we're telling the world, hey, you've done it for years. I've done it for years. I've spoken in front of hundreds of thousands of people, retreats for 20 years, and coaching programs and leading people in my business. And the truth is, I've always put myself out there. And I was willing to take the risk, even though I've had failure, even though I've gotten beat up, even though people have talked behind my back, people have stolen from me. I've had heartaches. I've had massive amounts of rejection. And I just want people to know that are listening or watching today that is to be expected. That will happen. I mean, it's most people will not make it in most endeavors that they try, only because, not that they can't, only because they're not willing to persevere through. If your grandmother would not have persevered to move on in her life and make experiences and get here and create all the thing, that was hard to do. That was not easy to do, but she did it. And that's why she's a great leader. And that's why you admire her, and you will admire her for the rest of your life. That's leadership.
There's also something that I really want to say, because I want to go back to limiting beliefs and the things that you do. And one of my favorite colleagues, Christopher Howard, he's the one who taught me neurolinguistic programming 20 years ago. Great teacher. And I love that he says it's not your fault, but it's your responsibility. All these limiting beliefs, and we can make them so bad. Ooh, you have limiting beliefs. All of those beliefs are there for a very, very good reason. I believe the root cause of your money monster or your love monster, always, it's never actually about money. It's about what money represents. And money, in our human experience, it represents love. Am I loved? Am I loved? Am I wanted? It represents value. Am I valued? What is value? How is it measured? How am I treated? How is that person treated? And safety. Is the world a safe place? Do I have enough to eat and have shelter and have safety and food, but also people around me who like me and support me? And I have to say, when I started making huge money, suddenly the most spiritual circles of high profile, big names that you would recognize coaches welcomed me in. And they didn't before I was making a lot of money. So money is very, very sticky, even among the loftiest, most heart-centered people, because it represents how we are valued, loved, and our sense of safety in the world. It is our relationship with life. And it boils down to this, money is such a great thing to play with as a monster, because it really it latches into all of our most painful, vulnerable, woundy spots. So if you're protecting yourself from money or love or anything that has made you feel powerless, anything even that has nothing to do with money, that made you feel unloved, unworthy, unsafe, or powerless, I promise you it will show up in your relationship with money. So that's where you look for the root cause. And so there's nothing wrong with you. You're actually super smart, well adapted. And it's time to readapt so that you can have what you want and need without the suffering attached to it. So that's why we put all the bad stuff in the monster, so we can get rid of the monster, so that you can start over with a relationship with money that is safe, that is on your side, that shares your values and loves you. And then there really is no limit to what you can make, have, give, share, contribute, and then you really are free to completely focus on love, great lifestyle, legacy, making the world the place that makes everybody whole and supported and safe and loved too.
Thank you for watching our short clips on Alonzo Academy. If you'd like to watch the next short clip, click here. If you'd like to watch the entire podcast, click here.